Welcome to Viking Voices of the People of Princeton. I am Elgin Card, your superintendent. We're here today with Ms. Chris Petter, our school treasurer. Welcome, Ms. Petter.
Thank you.
So we're happy you could join us today. We'd like to start with, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Chris Petter. I have been at Princeton. I'm starting my 9th year. I cannot believe how fast time has gone. I came to this world, I'll tell you a little bit about my career journey. I started out in the world of technology. I was a computer programmer, a web developer, a manager, a network administrator, everything you can do with computers. And then I was standing on a soccer field one day watching my kids play, and the treasurer of our school district was standing next to me and said, "Hey, I need you to come be my assistant treasurer." And I said, "I don't even really know what that is." And he said, "No, I think you'd be really good." And then he started baiting me with, of course, some really great things about, at that time, we had middle schoolers. He said, "I know you need to get home to those boys. I can get you home when they get off the bus." And those kinds of things were really important. And I thought, I've always been a numbers person, and I said, let's talk more. So we did. It was just a fantastic career change for me. I worked for him for 3 years, and at the mid-second year, I was like, I gotta do this. I gotta lead myself. So I took a job at Ross Local School District, and I was there for 6.5 years. Small district, 3,000 students. And then I crossed the river into Hamilton County and worked at Three Rivers Local School, smaller district, 2,000 students. And then that treasurer that made me a treasurer called me and said, "Princeton needs a treasurer, and I think it's you." And so that's how I ended up at Princeton. And at that time, I was hired by a 5-women board. And that was really interesting to me, to work for 5 professional women. And that made Princeton very appealing to me. Also, the size, and also the diversity. Also, at that time we had 10 buildings, and just stepping up to the next job, the next challenge. So.
Well, I would like to say thank you to that gentleman, whoever he is, that got you into this, because we're lucky to have you here. So when we talk about a school treasurer, I have a little bit of knowledge of that because I went to school and did some things, but most people don't. What does a school treasurer do?
I think that's a really hard question to answer. Overall, you're in charge of the fiscal assets of the district. So that's just, I tell people all the time, I don't think you have to be an expert CPA. I'm not. I'm not a CPA. I think you have to understand money, numbers, the importance of being fiscally responsible. You have to learn to work with people that are not necessarily from the same background you are coming from. I don't have someone in the district really that I can say, "Hey, let's sit down and talk about the forecast in detail with." I have to go to another treasurer in another district to have those types of conversations. So you are a little bit on an island professionally when you're getting down to the nitty-gritty of what you do. But the treasurer's office handles so many other things. We are responsible for benefits, medical, dental, workers' comp. We're responsible for all the insurances, liability, property. We touch grants, state, federal grants. I mean, I think every day about what I'm going to accomplish that day, and I rarely get to do what's on my list, because there's typically a challenge that enters my door every hour. And I think problem solving is one of the key things that a good treasurer can do, and of course, multitask.
Well, that is a lot, and that's why I wanted you to explain that, because it's very difficult for people to understand what that job is.
It's a great job, and it's a great career path, so I hope that maybe some of our Princeton students will think about school business as an opportunity for their futures.
All right. Well, I think as our audience knows, we do have a tax levy up, a $5 million tax levy. I want you to explain a little bit about what that is and why we need that right now.
Yeah, and I think, it's just a normal part of being a school district, especially a great number of our districts around the state of Ohio. Property taxes are a source of revenue. So school districts that are poor property tax-wise get a lot of state funding. When you're a property-rich school district, such as Princeton, you have to then tap your taxpayers to support the district. And we had, way before Chris Petter was here, tangible personal property tax that was a large sum of money that did help the district stay off the ballot.
Sure.
That has been phasing out for decades now, probably 20 years. We are one of the few school districts still receiving some TPP money. We're at about an $8 million mark right now, and that's reducing by $922,000 a year now. So about 8-9 more years we'll be out of that revenue stream completely. So Princeton doesn't have that large sum of money anymore. Back in 12, they passed an operating levy. It was the first one in quite some time. I was here for the levy in 19, and at that time we were messaging Princeton's going to be back more often. We are a levy cycle district now. We're trying to communicate and prepare our taxpayers. So in 19, we asked for 4.25 mils. We said we'll be back in 3 years. None of us knew in November of 19 that by February of 2020, we would have a pandemic. And fiscally, that helped the district because we received a lot of federal funds. A lot of the ESSER funding came to Princeton based on poverty levels is typically what that funding was based on and the amount you received. Princeton did receive a lot. That really did support the district for an additional 2 years. So now we're sitting here at the fall of 24, and it's been 5 years since we passed a levy. So we had to talk about that, have that communication with the board. They chose to pass the 2 resolutions required to ask for 5 more mills to support current operations of the district.
So with this new levy, it's really just for the current operations to make sure some of the things that are called the Princeton advantage, some of these things our kids have that other places don't have, can continue. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. I think unless you've been somewhere else, the other 3 districts I worked in, you don't really understand all the Princeton advantages that we do have. I mean, they're just things we do at this school district that you don't see at other districts. I had a big learning curve on that. And you grew up a little bit, but you did leave the district and you knew what it was about. The programming we offer here is top notch, the opportunities our students have. So I really hope that we can continue to provide all those opportunities for our kids.
Well, good. Well, we appreciate you coming on. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us before we let you go?
I just really appreciate everyone at Princeton. The community's wonderful. I mean, any student event you attend, you're just truly amazed of what our students can do. And I have to say, another 4-star rating.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's huge.
We were excited about that. Our kids, our staff, our community is doing great things, so we want to continue to be able to do that, and that will help. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you as a teammate doing great things.
You too.
We'll have a great day, and as always,
go Vikes!
Welcome back to Viking Voice of the People of Princeton. I am here now with Mr. Scott Lawson. He's a senior here at Princeton High School, and we want to talk to him about his trip to Buckeye Boys State. But first, Scott, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do here at Princeton, and the different things you do outside of Princeton.
Hi, I'm Scott Lawson. I do a lot of things at Princeton. I'm a part of our marching band, our jazz ensemble, and I do quiz team, chess, baseball, and golf here. Princeton has given me a lot of opportunities, and I'm grateful to be a part of it.
He's a very active young man, and I'm sure you keep your grades doing well as well. So how do you do that? How do you do all those activities, then handle your business in the classroom as well?
I'm fortunate enough, classroom work kind of comes really easy to me, so it's nice to have those activities outside of school in order to kind of challenge me and prepare me as a person for college.
Okay, great. We love to hear that. Outside of school, is there anything in the community or anything you're involved in?
I am a Boy Scout, and I'm actively applying for my Eagle Scout rank, and also in the community, I did a TEDx presentation here at Princeton High School, and yeah, that's how I'm involved outside of school.
That is awesome. So this is your senior year, right?
Yeah.
And that's a very exciting year. It can be happy, it can be sad because you've been here for a while, but what are your goals for the rest of this school year?
My goals for the school year is to set me up well for life and get accepted to a college with a scholarship.
Okay. What are your goals after you leave Princeton? You going to college? You want to do military, workforce? What would you like to do?
After Princeton, I plan on going to a four-year university.
Okay, don't know where at yet. Still got the fillers out there?
Not sure.
Okay. I'm sure you'll get it. With all your activities and your grades and your academics, I'm sure a lot of people would love to have you there.
Yeah, thank you.
So we brought you here to talk a little bit about, you went to Buckeye Boys State this summer.
Yep.
And I know it's a very prestigious thing to go to. So tell us a little bit about what that is and what you did there.
So Buckeye Boys State, I wasn't too sure what it was going into it, but coming out of it, it is a student-led government organization where we simulate from the top of the Ohio State Supreme Court down to the local school board. We simulate an entire state government. And it is from students from all over Ohio. You just applied out of your history class, and it's held at Miami University, and I'm happy to represent Princeton at that.
Okay. When you were there, like, what part of government did you take part in? Or took an opportunity to try to be?
So I ran for state Court of Appeals judge, and I was lucky enough to win that, and it was a really unique experience because it taught me so much more about our government. And everybody thinks about the government as in the president and the national legislature, but it's more the local stuff that matters more. And that was interesting learning that from a hands-on perspective rather than just from a textbook.
Yeah, and I think that's important. As you just said, we all can read and understand things when you get to really act them out.
Yeah.
It's a better situation. I think I told you this when we had a nice banquet about Buckeye Boys State at Princeton Administrative Center. Mr. Mark Riesenberg and the VFW of Westchester put that together, and we had people from different schools, Lakota, Princeton. We'd have some people from we had a guy from Columbus Hamilton Township. I think Talawanda. It was a really good event. I think I told you back in the day. I don't know if you know your principal, Mr. Ballmer, went to Buckeye Boys State.
Yeah,
High
you talked
School.
about it.
Yeah, and then I was supposed to go, and I turned it down. I wasn't very smart, so that's why when I talked to you guys, I said, man, do that because the experience you get. And I think also one of the most important things is the connections you build.
Yeah.
Because you'll find out as you grow and get older, you may already know life is about the connections and who you get to meet and opportunities you get. So we really appreciate that as well. So if you could tell us, what is your favorite class here or one you've ever had here? And shout out one of your teachers or a coach or a principal or counselor, whoever you'd like to shout out.
My favorite class is AP Chemistry, and I would like to give a shout out to Lonnie Douche, the best teacher here at Princeton.
Awesome. Mr. Douche is awesome. When I taught school here, so I taught social studies.
Yeah.
Mr. Douche was here then, so he always did a great job. The kids loved him. Kids in his class loved him, so we appreciate that. Is there anything else you want us to know about you? Family, friends, whatever.
It's a big question.
I know. Open it up for you.
Not much. I'm just glad to be here at Princeton, and I'm fortunate for all the opportunities it's given me. I have a lot of friends outside of the school district, and it's just amazing. Every single thing I've been said, along with Buckeyes Boys State, of just, sure, why not, I'll go, and how available everything's been with each other. All my band teachers understand. I have athletic stuff, and yeah, I'm just really fortunate to be here.
I love that. I think getting the many experiences you can while you're in high school is really important. As you grow older, you might have to narrow that down, but right now, do as much as you can and be happy. So I appreciate you being here, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day, and as always,
Go Vikes.